Hello guys, welcome to the first ever episode of NFL in the UK. I am your host, TJ. This is the NFL show about predictions, betting tips, all that stuff. By a Brit, for the Brits, you know. The shit I hate about NFL is like there's no good content about it. All the people that make content about NFL, I'm coming for you. Because you're all boring. Like, I'm not even being funny, like, they are just boring. Some of them used to be good, and then they just, like, they just talk about themselves now. No one really cares. They don't really talk about football, and they don't really know about it either. Or they get a lot wrong. And I try my hardest to not get things wrong. And that's what I'm going to try to do to you today, or for this channel, is give you tips, give you, little insights that you probably wouldn't get from anywhere else. And you'll probably be like, these Americans right now are probably like, this fucking English guy thinks he's known more about our sport than what we do. I do. I have no life. I stay up till 3 a.m. every day to watch this shit. I promise you, I know so much about this sport. Some would say too much, I would say too much. It definitely affects my mental health, especially as a Packers fan. I want to kill myself sometimes watching this game. But, I love it. I love it. So anyway, I've been doing picks this year off camera because I've been, I don't know. I don't know how confident I am doing this, and if you guys like this, please like it because I'm very insecure and I need to know that people will enjoy this. So anyway, I did some notes for an upcoming game. It's the Monday night game between New Orleans and Kansas City. So I'm going to get straight into it. Before I do, like I said, I'm very insecure. So if you do actually like this, you like me, maybe, probably not, but give me a like, maybe a comment, even if it's a hate comment, and just say like, you look fucking ugly, I'm not watching this again. Or at least just make it constructive, like a little bit. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get to the picks because that's why you guys are here. So yeah, Monday night, New Orleans at Kansas City. New Orleans 2-2 on the year, Kansas City 4-0. Some would say they're very lucky to be 4-0. I would be one of those people. I don't think they deserve it. I think this is probably one of the worst Patrick Mahomes years I've ever seen. Obviously, apart from his first year. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints at underdog. And I'm going to tell you the pick early. Please don't click off right now and you're probably being like, this fucking guy knows nothing. I'm going to give you... Look, I have so many notes written down. Please don't say I've done all this for nothing, okay? Let me just explain myself. Okay, first thing. Last week, the Saints, close loss against Atlanta. It's a divisional game, so anything can really happen. Even if they won that game, you're probably going, well, it's a divisional game. Or I'm going into the divisional game. Divisional games just create madness. You can have a 15-0 team lose to a 1-14 team just because they're in the division. It doesn't really make sense, but that's just what happens. It was only a 2-point game, so it was close. Yes, it's an L, but you got to look at some of the good stuff that happened. So for example, Derek Carr, 239 pass yards, no touchdowns. It was Taysom Hill getting the touchdowns last week, and Taysom Hill's injured for this week, so it's going to be more reliant on Carr and Kamara. Kamara last week, 77 yards on the night, 1 touchdown. He hasn't had a single game this season under 77 yards yet, so keep that in mind. He's going to have a good game, especially against the Chiefs. Defense has not looked good. Their defense has not looked good at all so far anyway. So I like Kamara having a big game on Monday. Olave and Rashid Shaheed, they're good wide receivers and they're going to get the job done again against a Kansas City team that hasn't shown defensive stability. They've only had 1 interception this whole year. So I really like this Saints offense against an untested Kansas City, in my opinion. Obviously, they played some good teams like the Ravens and the Bengals, but it's early in the year. Bengals are having like an identity crisis at the moment, so that doesn't really count. Ravens arguably should have won if Likely's toe was 1 centimeter in. So there's a lot of things going on about the Chiefs right now, and I think people are too high on the Chiefs as well. And I'll get into that The Saints defense, it looks good. It's not elite though, and I can understand that people can go, Mahomes is going to torch his defense up, and I can totally see that. I think, you know, the Saints have looked a bit vulnerable back there. A few big plays given up. You know, that is a question going into this game, but I have faith. I have faith in the Saints. You got to have faith in the Saints. One guy that people were talking about is Cameron Jordan. He's an elite defensive lineman, but hasn't had any impact this season yet. I think he's had 1 tackle in the season, 0 sacks. Not great, but then again, the Chiefs O-line looks pretty weak this year. So, you know, we could see Cam Jordan getting his first sack of the year. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe that's a little thing you might want to sprinkle on. Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu, I think they're going to have a great game. I think their one job, well, they're going to integrate, but the one job that they need to focus on is keeping Kelce silent, which has happened this season. I think he's dropped off a bit. Last week against the Chargers, he looked okay, but I feel like Kelce is their only solid, proven weapon at the moment, so they're going to go to him a lot. So Davis and Mathieu just need to stay on Kelce. Obviously, Noah Gray had a lot of yards last week, who's the backup tight end. So Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, if they have a good game, I think that whole Saints defense can have a good game, because have we really seen a good rushing attack from the Chiefs yet? Not really. But one guy I do think will have a good game for the Chiefs is Worthy. Speed might be a killer for the Saints defense. They don't look that fast in the secondary, especially with Davis, who's, you know, he's getting on a bit now, which means he's old. He's getting old. I think Worthy might have a good game. I think they're going to rely on him more, especially with Rice out. You don't want to throw to Smith-Schuster as much as possible, and I hope they know that. So anyway, yeah, I'm high on the Chiefs, on the Saints. I have been all season, even before the season started. I think Carr is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league this year. You know, people start putting respect on his name. You know, he's made some good throws. He's a good leader. You know, he's not getting the crazy stats, but he doesn't really need to. I think they're at an average of 30 points per game for the offense. They're doing everything they need to. Yes, they're 2-2, and that doesn't look too good, but I think the early in the year that record can lie a bit about the team. So I just wanted to talk about the Chiefs a little bit more in detail. Chiefs have been lucky so far to stay undefeated. We all know Isaiah Likely in the first game probably should have beaten the Chiefs. Second week, the Bengals probably shouldn't have been a pass interference. So, you know, in a different universe, in a very close parallel universe, we're looking at the 2-2 New Orleans versus the 2-2 Chiefs. So, you know, don't put too much stock on the record this early in the season, especially. And I put here, I'm going to read this out because I don't know. When Chiefs go up against a well-coached team, well-prepared, their star power will not be as impactful. Saints have offensive playmakers as well as a good scheme and well-coached. Okay, yeah. 10 minutes ago, I wrote this down. I was kind of right. Yeah, that's fair enough. You know, when you're going against the Bengals and the Ravens early in the year, and everyone's saying, oh, they beat the Bengals and the Ravens, like they're maybe the top 3 teams in the AFC early in, before the season started. You say the Bengals, Ravens, Chiefs, probably top 3 maybe, and they beat them. But it's early in the year. They were so unlucky, and the Bengals look not as good as we thought they would this year. Burrow doesn't look good. So there's so many question marks about this early start to the season. No Rashid Rice. No Rashid Rice. Knee injury on IR. We have no idea really. And I did write. Where did I write that? Yeah, I wrote, if Smith-Schuster is starting the majority of snaps, you're in trouble. You are in big trouble. He has not been the same since leaving the Steelers. I don't know what happened to Smith-Schuster. He was awesome. You know, he was like the next Antonio Brown sort of guy. And then he went to New England, and he kind of just looks like a third-string wide receiver now, like an average guy. Bit annoying, not trying to out Smith-Schuster, but yeah, he's looked shit. So if you have to throw to him a lot, there's going to be a lot of drops. He's not going to get open that often. It's just not good. It's not good. And Rice looked good early in the season. They're going to be pissed about that. Especially that Mahomes broke his leg or did his knee in or whatever. Not ideal, right? Not ideal. So when betting against the Chiefs, you've always got to have it in mind that maybe the refs just say, nah, you know. The refs this year have been questionable. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat kind of guy, but it does kind of seem like maybe they have a favourite team. I don't know, maybe they have Chiefs money line this week, but let's say they're going to play a normal reffing game like they should. You can't really go into bets and be like, I'm going to bet on the Chiefs because I think the refs are going to have a shit game. You just can't think like that. If they have a shit game, they have a shit game. You just got to pray that they don't. And I just wanted to say, this is one of my final things. I know I've been going for about 11 minutes, so I'll quick this one up. I just wrote, is it just me or is Mahomes a little bit shaky this beginning of the year? I think that this is probably Mahomes' worst start to the season. When you actually watch him play, he's making some dodgy throws, some bad reads, you know. I don't know. I feel like every season Mahomes starts a bit slow at the beginning of the year, and then playoffs come, and then he just becomes, you know, a robot. But yeah, I think week 5 you could see Mahomes go under 200 yards. Maybe. So probably not though. Mahomes is pretty damn good. So in conclusion, final thing, I reckon this will be a high scoring game. I reckon the Chiefs will be in that 20 to 30 point mark, and I think the Saints will be above 30. I think they'll score plus 30, plus 31. Yeah, give me the Saints. Right now the Saints are a 2-1 underdog. It's a value pick, you know. 2-1 isn't that great. I thought it should have been a bit more, to be honest, but 2-1's good. Pile your money on the Saints. If you do that and you win, you owe me some. You owe me a little portion of the pie. Because I'm too broke at the moment to bet, so I won't be betting. But I'm going to spread my knowledge. I've done research, you know. I'm spreading the wealth. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for listening. If you have watched to the end of my BTEC amateur little show I got going on here, I'm recording on an iPhone. If you have enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment, do all the shits. Tell your friends about me, you know. Make an edit of me, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Come on, the Saints. If I get it, like, this is my first video. If I get this wrong, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? Like, no one's ever gonna watch me again. So I'm praying on this. Like, this is a good pick. If I get the 2-1 underdog first episode, you've got to continue watching. That has to be a sort of contractual thing that we've got going on here. Anyway, I'm yapping. I'm gonna go. Enjoy, guys. See you later. Come on, the Saints. Enjoy.